If you're a small business owner and you're considering making an S-Corp election, this is the video for you. I'm not going to say yes or no, but I'm just going to give you a few things to think about prior to making that election. But first, I'm Marian. I'm the owner of Nirvana Business Consulting, and I help specifically small business owners navigate business finances and taxes. So without further ado, let's go in. Through this video, you'll hear about who should make the S-Corp election, so what kind of businesses should benefit or will benefit from an S-Corp election, the benefits of an S-Corp election, how it can help you from a tax perspective and to protect your assets, the requirements for filing an S-Corp election, because there are specific requirements that you need to meet, and some information about the forms to file and how to go about filing it, and of course the important deadlines that you need to adhere to once you make that S-Corp election. Before we get into talking about the benefits and challenges of an S-Corp election, I want to clarify a few things. Number one, when I'm talking about an S-Corp, I'm talking about an LLC that has made the S-Corp election for tax purposes. It's not necessarily changing the structure of your business, but it's changing how your business is taxed. There are S-Corps that are S-Corps from the beginning as far as the business formation. And that is something that goes into legal reasons. This is specifically for taxes. The LLC business structure is something like a chameleon when it comes to taxes. When you first form an S-Corp, or when you first form an LLC, rather, you have the option of being taxed as a disregarded entity. So if you're a single member LLC, it's taxed the same way that you would be taxed as an individual. If you're a partnership, it'll be taxed as a partnership. So you're subjected to self-employment taxes. And then you have the option to make an election. So you can elect to be taxed as an C-Corp, or you can be taxed as an S-Corp. In this video, we're talking about the benefits of being taxed as an S-Corp. In future videos, I might compare the two scenarios and make there are some reasons why you might want to be taxed as a C Corp and some reasons why you might want to be taxed as an S Corp. We'll talk about that in future videos, but I wanted to clarify that right here. First, let's talk about the benefits. If you do make that S Corp election, you have the ability to reduce your self-employment taxes by splitting your income between salaries and distributions. You're able to pass through profits to the individual without double taxation. That's something that you experience as a C Corp, and you get to pass through those losses. So if you were a C Corp, the C Corp will have those losses, but because it's an S Corp, you, the individual, get to have the tax advantages of those losses. The challenges that come with an S Corp would be the eligibility requirements. There are certain requirements you need to meet in order to be an S Corp. One of those requirements would be the number of shareholders. Most small business owners don't have to worry about that. You have less than 100 shareholders. There are residency rules. You must be a U.S. citizen. There's also certain business structures that cannot make an S Corp election. I have that available in the guide that you can download below. You also have to pay yourself a reasonable salary. So you can't circumvent all of the self-employment tax. However, if you are able to pay yourself a reasonable salary, you can just have self-employment tax on that specific salary, and the distributions will not be subjected to self-employment tax. Additionally, you'll probably have to do more bookkeeping to track this information. You'll have to run a payroll, whether you do it yourself or use a payroll provider. And that just means more administrative work and more specification when it comes to tracking your finances as a business owner. Next, we're going to talk about the filing requirements that come with an S Corp. So in order to make the election, you have to file what's called a Form 2553 or 2553 to make that election. It requires you to have information about your business and all of the shareholders and their percentage of ownership. There is a Form 1120S that you would have to file. So instead of filing this as a part of your personal return on your Schedule C as a part of your 1040, you have to file a separate return called an 1120S, and that's where you'll get what's called a K1 to then report on your personal returns. There's also payroll tax filings that you have to file because now you're paying yourself a salary. So that's 941, 940s, and maybe other payroll forms that you might have to file for the state level. Okay. So there is the option of filing a late election. Usually, when you have to file Form 2553, you have to file it within the first 75 days of the formation of the S-Corp or the election of the S-Corp. There are folks who have to file later. So there is a procedure or a regulation that allows for a late S-Corp election. So that is Section 2013-30. There's specific areas in that form that's also available in the guide below that specific section, and how to word the reasonable cause. And so if you make an S-Corp election late, you have to make sure that you make it within 3 years of the election date. So for example, if you decide that you want your election to be effective January 1st, 2024, as long as you make it within 3 years. So by 12/31/2026 or 1/1/2027, with the proper language on the form, then you should be able to be approved for the S-Corp election back to that date. So that's a quick summary of the S-Corp election. If you need more information, definitely download the guide. It's a lot more information in the guide that you can use. In addition to that, you have a link to a form with all the language that you need. If you want us to assist you in filing that, you can also click the link below to have us assist you with it, or we can also do it for you. There's also an option for that as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully this was beneficial to you, and stay tuned for more videos.